So I was going to title this video, Mistakes That First-Time Homebuyers Make, but I realized as I was going through the 4 items that they're mistakes that lots of homebuyers make, and not just on their first home, or not even just on their 9th or 10th or 11th home. So it's 4 mistakes that homebuyers make. The first mistake is not knowing your numbers. Now, I don't mean talking to a mortgage lender, although obviously that is critical. But before you even talk to a mortgage lender, you need to get to know your numbers. Know your credit score numbers. Know exactly what your income is. Know exactly what your debts are. You should have all of those things in a row, lined up, knowing exactly what they are. Also, and this is critical, know how much money that you want to spend. What's the most amount of cash that you want to put into a transaction? What's that number? What's the most amount of money that you want to spend on a monthly basis to buy a home? You need to know those 2 numbers before you ever talk to a mortgage lender for them to tell you how much you can qualify for. I closed escrow on a house earlier this year, and the buyers wanted to spend $1,000 a month less than they qualified for. Now, I thought that was genius. They were being wise and conservative. But we went through and figured out their numbers before we ever took a look at the mortgage numbers. Know all of your numbers. The number 2 mistake that homebuyers make is they don't get to know this. This is the 10-page California Residential Purchase Agreement and Joint Escrow Instructions. This is what you use to write an offer on a home. The time to go through this document is not when you've fallen in love with the home and are ready to write an offer. The time to go through it and understand it is beforehand. I met a buyer here at this house a few days ago. They had never purchased a home before. They were working with another agent, good for them, and they lost out on a house. The only time they had ever seen this offer was when it came over for electronic signatures. So it had, 7 or 8 different places for them to initial and a couple of places for them to sign, and that was it. No discussion, no explanation. Here's the thing. This document, these are the rules of the game. This is how a transaction is put together. And just like any other game, knowing and understanding the rules are essential. Furthermore, the tactics and strategies that you can use to negotiate to make yourself as a buyer look better or to make your offer look better, those are all contained within this document as well, but you have to know it first. Get to know the purchase contract. Mistake number 3 that homebuyers make is they don't understand the whys, the benefits of the home that they're looking for. Now, everybody understands features, right? The features are the things that you can put in a search category, like this house. Its features are 1,667 square feet, 3 bedroom, 2 bath, 7,000 square foot lot, attached 2-car garage, no pool. Those are all features of this home. But the reasons why somebody would want a particular feature or not, the whys, are really important to understand. Let me give you 2 examples of how this can be a really big deal. A buddy of mine had a client who was looking for an entry-level condo in South County, right? Just barely able to purchase anything. So he's looking at 2 bedroom, 2 bath, 2 bedroom, 1 bath in South County, Lake Forest, Mission Viejo area. Some of the least expensive real estate in Orange County. But one of the features that he wanted was a 6-burner stove. Now, a 6-burner stove is a high-end appliance. You're not finding those very often in an entry-level condo, but he was adamant, I want a 6-burner stove. Obviously, he's into cooking and other things, they figured, and so that was that. You can imagine how many entry-level condos in South County had 6-burner stoves. 0. But as the conversation went on and they were talking further, and so my buddy was trying to dig into the whys. What's the benefit of the 6-burner stove beyond the obvious? I mean, why is that important to you? Well, it turns out to this particular buyer, entertaining was important. And for him, the 6-burner stove was kind of symbolic of being able to cook and have friends over and hang out and entertain. Well, that completely changed the conversation. So when they were looking at condos after that, what they were focusing on is this the type of place that you could see yourself entertaining in? A completely different question than, does it have a 6-burner stove? Well, there were some places that he looked at that he's like, no, I can't see myself entertaining here. But he found one that he thought was perfect. Yeah, I could really see this being a good space and a great home to entertain in with all my friends and family. He ended up buying the house. 4-burner stove, but it met his why. That's really important. Another example of that happened right here in this house a few days ago. There was a couple that came in, they were going around and checking it out. And as you can see, it's nicely staged in that. But what you can't see behind the camera is that it's completely open to the kitchen and the dining area. So it really is just one big room. Kitchen, dining, living, and then a family room off to the back. So the husband said, oh, this is so wide open, I love it. We can have our family parties here, we can have our church group over here. It's a perfect space for that. She said, yeah, but you know what? The thing is for me is that I kind of find those tight, walled-in kitchens or walled-in dining areas confining like that. It makes me feel uptight. An open space like this makes me feel good. Okay, so that's interesting. The feature of the house is open concept, open space. But the benefits, the reasons why for this couple was different. For her, it was how it made her feel, her comfort, essentially. For him, it was an entertainment issue. So going forward, this couple, the question that I'll be asking them is, to her, does this home make you feel comfortable? And to him, it will be, do you think this will be a place that you can entertain in? Understanding the whys and not just the features that you're looking for are very important. The number 4 mistake, fourth mistake, that's the way to say it. The 4th mistake that home buyers make is they don't pick a single agent to work with. Now, of course, this is somewhat self-serving in that I'm a single agent and would love people to pick me to be their agent. But quite frankly, this advice applies whether I'm the agent. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. They may have obviously somebody else that they want to work with or other people that they're deciding between. Here's the thing, is if you're working with multiple agents, you are inevitably putting yourself in a situation where you're not going to be served, you're going to be sold to or manipulated. And think about it this way. Let's say you've got 3 different agents that are working hard and finding you properties and you like them and they're great and all of that. But let's say agent 1 finds the house that you really like the most. Immediately, agents number 2 and agents number 3 are probably, because they have an incentive to do so, going to find some reasons to figure out why the house from agent number 1 isn't the best one for you. Obviously, it's not the best one for them because they're not getting paid. So immediately you've put yourself in a position where you're having people try to sell you on or away from something, and that's a problem. Furthermore, let's assume that you do go with the house that agent number 1 sold you. You're in escrow and a problem comes up. Well, that's going to be an issue as well. Agent number 1 has an incentive to try to keep you in that deal because it doesn't want to lose you to agents number 2 and 3. If you called and talked to agents 2 and 3 about the problem, obviously they're going to try to talk you out of the deal as well. If you had chosen agent number 1 and hired them right up front, the conversation is easy. They call you up and they say, okay, there's this problem. Either you're going to have to fix it, we're going to have the seller fix it, or we're going to back out of the transaction. It's an easy phone call to make because their interests are aligned with yours. But if you haven't done that, then you put yourself in a position to be manipulated, to be given bad advice, because you haven't picked one agent to work with. 6 eyes or 4 eyes in this particular case are not better than 2. The reality is, on the MLS, all agents have access to the exact same properties. There are no special hidden homes in the MLS. Also, beware if an agent tells you that they have special off-market homes or pocket listings or something like that. In almost all circumstances, an off-market home to show or a pocket listing is really a seller that says, if you bring me 120 or 125% more than this house should sell for, I'll sell the house. You as a buyer don't want to be working with sellers that aren't motivated to sell. A seller that's motivated to sell is going to try to broadcast their home and market it to the widest audience possible. Other than that, they're not really interested in selling, which means you're probably going to end up paying more. And most agents know this. So when they tell you, well, we have off-market listings, or I have pocket listings, or things to show you, they know that you're not going to buy one of those homes. And it might not even be that one of those homes are the right one for you, even if the guy was really motivated to sell. What they're really doing is just trying to bring you in as a client. Hopefully they'll show you the right house and you'll do business with them. Don't put yourself in a position to be manipulated like that. So those are your 4 things. Number 1, get to know your numbers. Number 2, get to know the purchase contract. Number 3, understand the whys of the benefit of the features rather that you're looking for. And number 4, pick one agent, make sure that they're a great one all the way to the end. Obviously, if they turn out to be bad, you can fire them and hire another one. If you've got further questions or you'd like to talk to me about helping you buy a house or helping you sell a house or finance one, you can call me. My number is 949-413-2371. You can email me, michael@housamgroup.com. Also, right here above my head, if you touch the screen or move your cursor, a little eye should come up. If you click on that, that will take you to my website. There's more ways to get a hold of me and also more information there as well. Lastly, please subscribe to this channel. I do every 4 or 5 days a new video with information and advice and education for home buyers, home sellers, mortgage borrowers, and marketplace updates. Thanks. Have a great day.